And the other ones, I would say the ones I'm glad I'm not recognized for are just a lot of home movies I did with Kevin Spacey. So, like you guys. Oh. Check 1, 2. Moses, I want you to take these 20,000 commandments.
Wait, are you moderating this, Dave?
I do nothing in moderation.
They call me Big Daddy Voodoo. I'm Sheridan. I'll be just kind of keeping out of your way. Point microphone. All right.
I like the lower lights. Yesterday I was coming in here. You guys came in with some candles yesterday, right?
Yes.
It was kind of bright, wasn't it?
Yes.
This is much better.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Are we starting?
We can start.
Let's go.
Quiet.
That was the starting signal.
That was a quiet.
Thank you for coming to the middle panel.
Yes.
Do you think there's one kill in a quiet place where someone farts? Good. And it's like that'd be kind of fun.
Hey kids, it's the scary movie panel. How about saying hi to our guests? Hey, everyone.
Dave, Sheridan, Lochlyn Munro. Come on, let's say hello.
I love the people in the VIP section here.
Look at Cozy.
None of you don't even think of coming past this yellow tape.
They love you too, that's why they're in that section.
So where should we start?
I thought there was somebody. I don't know.
What do you want to do? Well, we have a
I
question.
don't know, let's just get right to
Let's
questions.
get right into it. Who's got a
Some
question?
people don't have questions.
It's before noon, we're not quite there yet. Anybody? Anybody? Dave Sheridan? Come on now. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, this VIP is going to be fun.
VIP gets a microphone. You guys back there have to yell. Get ready.
Make it really awkward, you know? You just yell into the microphone and make it really awkward.
Right.
I would not.
Was that your question?
No.
Yes.
Did you guys have any moments during Scary Movie when you were trying to film it and it was just overwhelmingly funny, or there was a blooper and you had a hard time getting through the scene?
You know, we get that question actually every time. And it's interesting because when you're shooting comedy, I don't know, it's already so funny. It's the drama stuff that you have these sort of like giggle things. And
Yeah, you're right. I probably laughed more through Riverdale than I ever did in Scary Movie.
right.
I'm like, I have this hood on, I'm trying to be all tough and angry. That stuff's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is about when you're already focused on the timing and being funny. But it does happen, obviously. You know what I mean?
You know what, the funny thing
remember
is,
anything from either.
for me, I was lucky I didn't actually have any scenes with Sheridan because
We did.
well, yeah.
When I killed me.
That was funny. You know what, like what Dave was saying is that, especially with him, because he's so good at improv, the way that they work, they have their Bible, their script, we all know what's written, we do what's written, and then they challenge you to improv. And it's usually those moments of the sort of the ad-libs that kind of gets you every once in a while. So, with me, I worked a lot with Sean. Sean's really good at ad-libbing and creating that type of stuff. So there would be a few moments that he would just throw something out there that I wasn't ready for, that you kind of chuckle at and then compose yourself and then carry on with the scene. So those moments happen for sure, and they usually happen with guys like Dave, who's really good at being off the cuff all the time. So I was fortunate not to have to do those scenes with him, because I am definitely one of those guys who loves to laugh on set.
Yeah. I would say the difference is on the comedies, it's more about the crew holding it together. Do you know what I mean? They might laugh when they ship them back, oh shit, it's supposed to be like that. And
All of a sudden you have a shaky camera.
that's what I was going to say,
What's
the
going
shaky
on?
camera. I know when I've done something really good, where they're like, we have to do it again. I'm like, dude, that was so good. And it was like, yeah, but Francis was shaking the camera because he was laughing. Because that's the problem, is you get, he wasn't joking, you got it, right? It's like, sorry, the camera was shaking. I'm sorry, it was so funny. So you're lucky you didn't see that, scary movie, Earthquake. Because if it was lower budget, that's what it would be. We can't do anything about it.
Don't have any more film. Let's just go.
Joey Kaufman would be like, just put Earthquake under it.
We have a question over here to the left.
Hi. So there were a lot of movies involved in just this scary movie. How did you guys feel about putting your own funny interpretation on those films? Did you look up to them, admire them, or feel bad?
Okay, wait, what was the third one? Did we think they were bad?
No, did you feel bad for putting a really humorous take on it?
Yeah. Well, so basically, we know it's Scream, and I know what you did last Halloween, and then there's Blair Witch. Oh yeah. What did you do last Halloween? No, I said that because when we shot the movie, the film was called Scream, if you know what you did. Right? Scream. Yeah, Scream if you know what you
That
did
was the
last
title
Halloween.
of our shooting script. Scream if you know what you did last Halloween. That's right.
The reason why is because when they shot Scream, the original title was Scary Movie. So David Arquette's chairback says Dewey, Scary Movie. And my chairback says Doofy in a big screen, and then the little letters, if you know what I did last Halloween. So we need to get a wrestling match, not for belts, for chairbacks.
But yes, we did reference, the first meetings, we were lucky. You don't really get this luxury anymore, but we had some rehearsals, some read-throughs, and we were able to sort of, bring our own little takes to the script and give Keenan our ideas, and if he liked them, he'd put them in. If he didn't, he'd just laugh at you and tell you you weren't allowed to eat for a week. But, for me, honestly, I guess I really did just spoof Ryan Phillippe from I Know What You Did Last Summer, right? So, I had never seen the movie. I watched it, and I was like, wow, this guy's angry. He's always beating up his co-stars. So I just took it to another level. I just beat the shit out of him any time I could, and I thought, okay, this could be good. So that was my reference. As far as my character, obviously, I think the reference that Dave took, but his spin on it.
Yeah, I wanted to play David Arquette, but slightly smarter. I really did. I think I nailed it.
I actually read to play the character Dewey in Scream. I actually read for that part. I thought it was kind of funny.
That was like a litmus test, though. They wanted to cast a person that couldn't read. So I came in, I go, I don't know how to read. And then with that's it.
I had the luxury of when the first time I met Dave, when we were doing the movie, I met Dave at the read-through, and I sat with him, and oh my God, you talked about having to tame it down and not laugh. This man made me laugh the whole read-through, just not even on the script, stuff he'd say to me in between, as he showed me his driver's license collection, which I'm sure you guys really should hear this story.
Yeah. Well, back then, I kind of chilled out a little bit. But as I shot films in different states, you're there for a while. So I would just go to DMV and get a new license. So I collected.
He would go to different DMVs. He'd show me one. He goes, "Here's my Wisconsin driver's license." He has a turban on.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
He'd go, "Oh, this is my."
None of them look like me. Yeah. Right.
He's got all these driver's licenses from all these states, and he's in a different outfit, every one of them.
Yeah.
This was obviously pre 9/11. I don't know if you could do that now.
Oh, it's difficult. The turban, no. But I just had it. I showed the guy my license at TSA, and he was doing this. Because I now only get California license, but they've still never looked like me. So I have another 7 crazy California, one was like a neck brace, I spray tan and had crazy teeth in. It was still fun.
So now you
Because they can't say anything to you, especially now. Now it's this is who I identify with. So now I can't do anything. Yeah, but the TSA, I was like this usually. After the 3rd or 4th one, that's not gonna help. The 5th one's not gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Was he picking out different things like earlobe, freckle? Can't you just scan the thing? It's got a computer. It says this is the fucker that has all these fucked up licenses. Let him in. There's TSA and there's dumbass A. Let him go. You guys want to see my license? This is the one. Here, pass it around. VIP first. So this is what I travel with.
Those are the benefits of VIP people.
And it does not look like me.
This is the reason why you get those VIP.
Yeah. So now you know what I had to deal with, okay? Everyone. I know. And that's just one. If he would pass the other 10 around, you would.
Yeah, he meant you the other 10.
To all the kids out there that don't have their licenses, don't get any ideas. Okay?
And by the way, wearing the different outfits, that came out because I was shooting the movies. So some of the movies, it really was Ghost World was the first one in Texas. And I had the mullet and the mustache, and I go, I gotta get a license since this guy. And then wherever else I was, I'm like, oh, I gotta change it. I think I just wanted to be like an undercover spy growing up, you know what I mean? Yeah.
We have another question.
With all of your body of work and everyone that you have worked with over the years, who is the one person for each of you that when they call, no matter the project, no matter what it is, it's an automatic yes?
What was the last one? What?
It's an automatic yes, no matter the project when this person calls you.
Oh, an automatic yes. Okay, yeah. You can take that.
Well, for me, definitely would be the Wayans family, which Dave and I have been lucky that they've asked us to do lots of work past Scary Movie with them. The family, they're just really great guys. They're very creative and a lot of fun to work with. I had the pleasure of working with James Gunn on Peacemaker, and amazing. Honestly, that guy's so unique. If he was to call, I'd join the DC universe in a heartbeat for him. I've been lucky to have a lot of great experiences with a lot of the filmmakers that I've worked with. So there's probably not a lot that I would say no to, but I hate to say this because I don't film a horror film convention, but Ronnie Yu might be the one that I would go, yeah, thanks Ronnie, I'm good. I love doing the movie. Don't get me wrong, the cast was amazing and I had a lot of fun filming it, but I was I think Ronnie Yu thought he was making Gone with the Wind, you know what I mean? It's dude, relax. I'm I can't, it's hard sometimes when a filmmaker has one credit under his belt and he's giving you all these things about how I should create my character. I'm like, dude, I've done 80 movies, you've done one. I think I know how to create a character, And I'm not being disrespectful, but he didn't really say it in a very, collaborative, creative way, right? He was a bit of a tyrant. So, you could, I'm sure all the cast members would probably talk about that, but that's about the only one. All the rest, I'm like, as soon as they phone, I'm there.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me. One is I always, if anything in life, and if there's anyone out there aspiring to be a filmmaker, an actor, writer, comic book drawer, always say yes. You go somewhere with yes, you go nowhere with no. Right? So your first instinct should be yes, and then hope for the best. Especially at the beginning, just yes, yes, yes. It'll lead somewhere. And that's better than nowhere, and then you're further, and then you can maybe go, I made a lot of mistakes, so I'll make my yeses a little smarter. But the weigh-ins, that's an automatic yes. And it's not so much like, I'm not working with them, which I do. But it's got the point where I'm like in 9 of the movies, so you get that track record. You're like, oh, well, when I end, I want it to be higher. You know what I mean? I want to be at 15. Just say. But what's funny about that is that Marlon knows that I'm on automatic yes, and he's like, yo, what you just think? Come on down. Yes. And then I get there, and it's like, yeah, you're masturbating in that corner over there. And that was Haunted House 1. Remember how I was possessed and I was masturbating in the corner. Masturbate harder. And then I turn and it's a shake weight. But still, they wanted them to look more like nomad, like, oh, and I'm like, okay. And then we're doing Haunted House 2. Bro, I'm in. And then I was a ghoul, and he was like, I'm gonna cover your mouth, put you in a leather trench coat, you gotta sink down in that water there. Stay there until the water stops rippling. Like I was like dying, looking up. Come on up, big jump. We got In-N-Out burger truck, but you can't eat it. It's good. You're like every one of them, and I go, why do you make me do it? He goes, because you're the only white boy crazy enough to do this shit. I know
Marlon was busy.
Yep, after you jerk off, when you put your dick in that bag for my brother, Key Wings, we're blood brothers. We're son brothers.
Yes.
How's that license doing?
Yeah. Who's snapping photos of it and opening up a Venmo account?
Oh, you have it? Oh, yeah. Has everyone seen it? Keep it going. You'll like it. Sorry,
This is
go ahead.
Lochlyn.
And if anyone works for TSA, memorize it. Because I don't want to stand in line.
How did you feel about the Wayans brothers giving your character a small penis?
Well,
That's a good question.
they took a photo of Sheridan and they used that for the set Polaroid. No.
They took a photo of me and then they blew it up.
You know what's funny about that is, so, Marlon was kind of challenging me to improv in that scene in the locker room, and so I was kind of thinking about, some of the stuff they wrote that I thought was really great, and some of the stuff that I could add, and, so I was thinking really more about that, and the props person came up to me and said, oh, here's a Polaroid you're going to pull out of the locker, and honestly, I looked at it, and I kind of went, oh, geez, and, I didn't really focus on it because I was so focused on what I was thinking I was going to do. And then when we went and did the junkets for the movie, junkets are a weird thing because you sit in a hotel room for 3 days straight and press from around the world come in, and you have a publicist from the studio sits there with a stopwatch, and they go, okay, Lochlyn, this is Frank from German television, and go. And she clicks, and you have 4 minutes. So I wasn't thinking anything about the Polaroid, but every question would start off, so the Polaroid. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize that it would make that much of an effect. So yeah, it was fun. And it was apparently, like Polaroids are hard to fake back then, right? You have to take a real Polaroid. It's not like, now with digital images, you can compose anything. This was someone on the crew posed for this Polaroid.
Yeah, that was not Photoshop or anything. That's the legit Polaroid because wardrobe and props, it was Polaroids all day back then. And they would punch a hole and they would have on their belt everything they
keep the continuity, right? That's how they used to do it. Now they do it
with Polaroids.
Now they do it on their iPhones.
So they probably just sent the wardrobe guy to take a picture.
I wonder who has that original Polaroid, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it survived or not, but it's a little sticky. Right? you gotta shake it, but too much comes off. Shake it. I had another joke, but I forgot. Oh, I just like the idea. You gotta understand what you're saying. So these press junket rounds, like what's his name, Byron Allen will come in, and somebody from Entertainment Tonight or whatever. They only give them. He stays in a room lit, and they come in, and they're standing out in line, and you got 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes. But like I just like the idea that that's the first question, but it's also like this is a complicated question. When they gave you the Polaroid. And it was a small penis. It takes like 3.5 minutes to ask the question. It's like, it wasn't me, man. That's all the time we got. Okay, move on. He only gets one Polaroid question for 5 hours. 5 hours.
But yeah, it's so funny. It was really like that's how everyone led off their interview. The Polaroid.
Hi. I was wanted to ask, during your time of filming Scary Movie, was there anything that you kept, like as a souvenir, like beehive, or they were talking about the Polaroid? That's what I was thinking.
Have you seen Sheridan's vacuum at his booth?
Oh, that's
Of course, that's the only thing he kept.
Exactly. What did you do? Did you keep it?
I'm trying to think if I got my Letterman jacket or something. You know what?
Your rap jacket
Was there a
That was the rap jacket.
That's right, yeah, that's what I got. You know what? I'm lame for that. Even with Riverdale stuff, with a lot of the other movies that I've done, I'm really lame for documenting, even taking photos. I wish I would have throughout my career. You know, it's much easier now with obviously iPhones and that type of thing. But way back early in the day, you know, having a camera on set just to kind of have a running thing that my kids could look back on and see photos of, you know, like my first Western was Unforgiven. I worked with Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman. I wish I would have documented that a little more. That was an exciting time for me. But no, I think the only thing I have is the wrap gift from Scary Movie and the Polaroid. No, I don't have it. I wish I could say I had it.
I keep it. I'm one of those ones that keeps something from every movie, and it really did start with Scary Movie because that was my first movie itself. And I wasn't planning on keeping stuff, even though I wanted it, but I wasn't like, I'm gonna do it. I heard people do it, like Burt Reynolds, like, takes everything, or whatever. And so Lee Mays, the producer, I don't know if this is how you got here, he came around near the end and knocked on my trailer and he was like, hey, well, what size jacket are you? And I was like, oh, why? He goes, for a wrap gift. You put a large, medium? And I was like, oh, it's a wrap gift? What is it? And I'm also picky with what I wear. I am. I'm not. I was like, I'm not gonna wear your wrap jacket.
We don't walk around wearing jackets of movies that we've been in.
That's so like, hey, what's up?
I always wonder why they go, hey, cast, we're going to give you a wrap jacket with your name and your character on it. It's like, really? I'm going to walk around with this thing? I don't.
Right. And so I was like, I go, hey, what if I keep the ghost face mask and robe? What if you give me the mask, robe, knife, the whole thing? Like, can I keep that instead of that jacket? And he goes, let me go ask. I'll be right back. And in their mind, they're saving $250. They're like, he wants that jacket? Because they do have doubles of it, you know? And he goes, it's yours. So I took it. But the funny thing is, I didn't know I took it. It's like, you don't get nothing for free from the Weinsteins. I was like an indentured service. So like, when they wanted to do promo stuff, they would call me. Can you put that stuff on and just get a video made around the kitchen with a knife, like, you know, and say stuff? And it was like, yeah, for like promo stuff and stuff like that. And then it was like, my having a bar mitzvah. Can you put that on again? It just like, and it went on for like 2 years. Like once a month I'm doing a thing. I was like the original cameo. Like I was doing cameo in 1999. Yeah. So and then I eventually said, oh, it's in storage. I can't get to it. You know, so I kept that. I kept the What's Up mask, which is out there. I have the one I kept. That one's out there. And then everything else. Sent into like a Western, I would probably want to keep that. I don't like to keep everything. It's just what is the quintessential piece of the character. Like I played this alcoholic priest and I kept just that flask.
And they used to let you do that more often. Nowadays, like even like you would go to the wardrobe person and say, hey, am I cool to keep that suit? And they're like, yeah, take it. Now they you know, the studio people, the accountants come out and they go through all the wardrobe with receipts and go, show me the receipts for all this now. And yeah, it used to be a little easier. And actually, it made me realize that I did a movie called Wagons East. I don't know if you guys remember this, but it's a movie that John Candy passed away on. right?
Yeah.
And so I actually do have my my gun belt and my fake gun that looks like a perfect replica, and the knife belt that I have a knife on. So I actually, yes, I do have that from Wagons East. That's about the only real thing that I have from anything that I've done is that. So
Alec Baldwin.
you just reminded me.
Alec Baldwin kept his gun too. I was gonna say The Shadow.
You know Sheridan.
From The Shadow. What movie you guys think?
I had a question for Mr. Sheridan.
You can call me Mr. Sheridan.
Okay. Outside of making new driver's licenses to every state you go to, what other things do you do to entertain yourself? Like, what are your hobbies? Like, how do you have fun?
Oh, to entertain myself? I would say this. This is my getaway. I got 2 kids in high school. I coach the high school lacrosse team. You know, I'm kind of like a single dad. You know, I'm not gonna get into that part, but it's this is my vacation. Yeah, this is my fun. So get away from that. But that's fun too. That's fun too. What's that?
Vacuum cleaner?
Yes. That's why I travel with the vacuum cleaner. You gotta bring a girlfriend on vacation. Shit. That's that guy right there.
Oh, so I see you now.
I'll just answer it. Pisces. Pisces.
So, is there any movies that either of y'all wish that you guys got more recognized for?
I wouldn't say me getting recognized for it, but I believe there's maybe more movies that we've both done that I wish got more recognition for how good they are. Like, I think Ghost World, I don't know if everyone knows Ghost World, that's a great movie. Sex Drive is underrated, it's really funny. Seth Green's hilarious in it. And then there's a sci-fi movie that I'm really proud of, I think it's on Netflix, called White Space. And it's like Moby Dick sets in space. And I'm only proud of that because it's my first space movie. You know?
Yeah, that's probably what it would be. I think, there's movies that we put, there's always the bigger films like Scary Movie and White Chicks and the stuff that we've done with the Waves that have been, obviously worldwide theatrical releases, but it's the smaller movies that you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that you are actually really proud of that kind of don't get the big theatrical releases. I did a movie, my first American film I ever starred was a movie called Camouflage, and it was with Leslie Nielsen and myself. And it was written by Billy Bob Thornton. It was this great film that just, they went into a bit of legal litigation between Billy Bob Thornton and Warner Brothers because it wasn't exactly the movie he wrote by the time it came out. And so it got delayed, and then it just went to DVD, and it was like something that I was like, wow, man, my first leading character in a film, and it was with Leslie Nielsen, and it was such a great story and so much fun. And, not a lot of people got to see it, so sort of probably more of that than wishing that I got more recognition from films.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and I know Camouflage, and the problem was it just blended in, and just nobody really saw it. And that's the worst. Such a dad joke. Hey, there's another one I did called "You Are Here" with Bill Pullman and Tracy Lord, and it's based on, he plays Robert K. Dick, the author, who's he's in the midst of writing another thing, but his world, it's that whole thing of what he's written about is really what's going on in his world anyway. That's how fucked up his world is. So it's pretty cool.
Pullman was awesome.
Yeah, and that was awesome working with him. Because people might know him from Independence Day, but that dude's an actor. He has a theater in Pasadena, and it's legit, yeah. And the other ones, I would say the ones I'm glad I'm not recognized for are just a lot of home movies I did with Kevin Spacey. What? You guys? Oh. You buy this section. It's like go to a guar concert and get blood on. I'm like, blood on with the guar. Look at my thing. He told bits of jokes.
What's your guys' favorite memory with each other?
So what's our what?
What's your favorite memory with each other?
This?
Yeah. And that kept together and just kind of catching up every time we see each other. Because honestly, I didn't see Dave a lot during Scary Movie. The only time was when his character as Ghostface killed me on the balcony, right? So that's the only scene we had in the film together. But you know, we would see each other on set. You know, as far as like, oh, his scene's next. I just wrapped. He's up. You know. But for me, it's just getting to do a few of these cons over the years with him, and just it always makes me chuckle, and we always get to catch up, and yeah, it's
Manchester was
Manchester, yeah.
Because we do get to go like, oh, we're going to Europe. And so that was one with him and John Abrams. And
John Abrams was with us on that one, and yeah, it'd be fun to be able to get more of the cast to come out and be part of, you know, like 5 or 6 of us up here. That way, you don't just have to listen to mine and Dave's stories all the time. So
there was a fight scene that we had in that kill scene. They just cut it down for time. I don't know why, because there was some good stuff. He wore these things called they're like stunt stirrups that imagine heavy canvas, and they hook on your feet and they go up your pants, so they really stop right here. And because he had the picture of the little thing, they sent me, and I'm just kicking him, and he's just all like,
what are you doing? But it's not a funny gag.
You can't make it. It's not CG. It's like the way that stunt was hooked up. It was and then the one thing I noticed the other day is I see a Terrifier fan now, and in that scene they're looking for you. And I've chopped your body up and I'm cleaning it all up, and I have it in a black hefty bag, and I'm like, Ghostface did it first. Sorry, Art. It's like a Simpsons did it.
How was it working on the TV show Creep Show that you did? Because your episode was really good.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. One of the producers is a friend of mine of that show, and he phoned me up and said, hey, we got this episode coming up, and we'd love for you to come out and play it. And so they sent me the script, and I just thought it was really cool because, you know, kind of brought that actual video game just kind of brought me back to my childhood, and I just thought that it was a really great idea that I had to go into this video game to save my son, and that we were fighting against the alien. And, yeah, it was really fun, right? And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought the episode turned out really good, right? That's fun. It's always interesting when people just bring up little things like that, like an episode of television. That again, talking about things that we love. Like I did an episode of a show called Without a Trace that I thought was brilliant. Like honestly, the character was so flushed and so dimensional, and it was such a great story. It's actually one of my favorite jobs. One episode of Without a Trace, you know.
But you're saying not a lot of people have seen that.
I'm sure people have seen it, but it's more interesting, like, you know, when people bring up stuff that you don't expect them to, you know. Like, we always get scary being White Chicks and Night of the Roxbury, but like when people go, hey, our episode of Creep Show, I'm like, wow, that's cool. Yeah, let's talk about that.
While folks are thinking about questions, in Peacemaker, the dance opening, you know, I've always wondered, you knew that you were doing a superhero show when they said, hey, we need you to dance in for the intro.
That's crazy.
How did you get that?
Well, okay, so, I mean, obviously, again, that's the genius of James Gunn. Who else would think of that? And then to come up with a song that all of a sudden, you know, that band now can retire after being a band for 50 years. I'm like, whoa, James Gunn made us a hit. So yeah, we basically, they hired a choreographer, and I'll tell you a fun story about that. So she came up to Vancouver, but you know, everyone had days where they were not working, so they'd have to go in and learn their dance moves that she came up with. So the day of shooting the Peacemaker opening sequence, I walked into where, you know, they had it set up, and I look on stage, and Alan Tudyk is standing on stage. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy fuck, like, is there a character that I don't know about? Is Tudyk here to play someone? I go up to him, I'm like, dude, I just want to come over and say hi, because I've loved all of his work. And I go, are you in the show now? And he goes, no, my wife's the choreographer. I had no idea. So here I was working with this woman for a month, and I had no idea that she was Alan Tudyk's wife. And Alan was on stage standing in for John Cena. How funny is that? Because John was working that day, and so Alan was there just to kind of be his character while we were all doing this stuff until John could come in. But yeah, I thought pretty iconic opening sequence for a TV show, right? I don't know how he's going to top it for season 2. You never know.
Can't wait to find out.
Yeah, right?
Question?
Oh, no.
No, just waving at me. From when you first got the script for Scary Movie, how were there chunks of it that were maybe left out by the time it became the finished product that you thought that would have been great if it was left in?
I think there was a lot. One thing that because again, it was my first film, so I was listening to Keenan a lot, and he knew it was a lot of our first films that he was like pulling us aside. The reason I'm doing this, here's what we're doing here, because he knew we were all gonna be doing more, and then we wanted to be filmmakers ourselves and stuff like that. So he, I would shoot. I remember I shot some stuff like, oh my God, this is great. He goes, this will be cut out, and I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. See, I'm gonna shoot 20%. Really jokes that are so hard, they're going to cut them out. But they're going to let me keep these other ones in. So he's like, I need bargaining material. So when they say, you got to cut this out, he goes, how about, because they'll say, you got to cut this, and this. And he goes, how about we just cut this and this, so you let me leave this and this. And they'll say, okay. You know what I mean? So there's a negotiation that goes on.
So he would have the decoy scenes.
Yeah.
And he'd be, okay, I don't really want to cut these out, but you guys are my bosses, so I'll lean this way. And then they're like, oh, yeah, Keenan, that's great. Okay, yeah, you can keep that other scene in. He's like, that's the one I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So he shot stuff that he already knew was going to be cut out. He knew those would be the sacrificial lambs that he was like already setting up for. Yeah.
But most of the, like, for the most part, like, their script is their Bible. We shoot what is written, and then they challenge you to improv. So a lot of the stuff you see in White Chicks and Scary Movie is a lot of stuff that was improv as well.
Yeah.
Got a question up front?
This is a very important question, as you can tell from where they're sitting.
Did my license ever come back?
Got it.
Oh, you got it. All right.
It's safe.
All right. Not really. You're holding it. You look like the guy on my life. You're like, it looks like me. You all saw it.
I already ordered a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
On Dead Man on Campus, how much of that character was in the script and how much did you add to it?
Well, yeah, they let me go off pretty good. I was actually supposed to die on the gurney. I was never supposed to live. Like all the scenes where I ended up in their dorm room with the steering wheel, cupped to my hands. And, yeah, so they were like, yeah, that guy doesn't die. So we had to go back and shoot a bunch of scenes to add into the movie. Yeah, I don't know. It was really odd because I'd done lots of work before Dead Man on Campus, but that was like sort of the bigger part in it. You know, it was a Paramount MTV co-production, so I knew it was a bigger film, and I was shocked that they let me just go off. Like, I mean, there were things that I did in the movie, that, like for instance, I'm on the balcony and I dropped my drawers and BA the crowd. They didn't even know I was going to BA the crowd, let alone while I was waiting to go out and hang on the balcony. I had a black marker with me, and I went up to a grip, and I went, listen, bro, this is going to sound weird, but can you write eat me on my ass? so yeah, sure, bro, and I turn around, and he writes eat me on my ass, and the reason I did that, it was kind of like, I just felt like this character was a little bit Belushi-ish, you know, like John Belushi, and so it was my way to pay homage to Animal House, if you remember at the end of Animal House, the cake in the parade said "Eat Me" on it.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote "Eat Me" on my ass. And they had no idea that I was going to even BA them, let alone when I did BA them and said "Eat Me." And like the filmmaker, like I would do like the whole kick me in the junk was something that I went, hey, what if this guy chucks beer and then likes to get kicked in the balls just for an extra head rush? And they're like, okay, sure. And I'm like, he calls it his junk. He doesn't call it his nuts or anything like that. And they're like, okay, let's try it. So lots of stuff like that, yeah. The whole like, that whole, and that came about, honestly, when I pulled up my first scene in the movie, as far as filming wise, was when I pulled up and I went, can you please ask the officer where I-95 is, right? And Tom and Mark Paul were laughing in the back seat. I was waiting for their dialogue, and I thought, well, I'm just waiting here, I might as well do something. So I just started clicking my tongue, and then that became a thing for the character throughout the movie. So yeah, man, I was really lucky. And then honestly, because of that character is how I ended up in Night at the Roxbury, because that was a Paramount movie. So they phoned me and said, hey, we want you to have a meeting with the guys from SNL about doing a movie about their skit. And so that's kind of how it all happened. Yeah.
We have about 5 minutes left. Who else has a question? All right.
Well, I have a quick question, and I'm sorry I had to go do event stuff. Hopefully you weren't asked, but when you guys both started your careers, did you mean to go right into comedy? Comedy versus tragedy, were you always the cut-ups in class, and you just went into the career like that, or was there some Shakespeare in there?
No, I'm a class clown. That's basically it. Since like preschool, you know. But really I knew that I had no other choice by 3rd grade, because they took the locker cabinets, they were like 3-drawer locker cabinets, and they built a little room for me in the back, and my chair was always back there. You can come out to go to the bathroom. So, there was no dunce corner anymore, it was just like the dunce's room. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it in there, I did what I wanted.
But you still had the hat, right? You still had the dunce hat?
No. Yeah.
How about you?
You know, for me, I did a little bit of comedy. I was basically, I always felt like I had a sense of humor, and I loved good jokes, and I loved storytelling. But I really, most of my career up until Dead Man on Campus was mostly dramatic work, you know. I did Wagons East was about the first kind of comedy that I did. And then all of a sudden I did Dead Men on Campus and Night at the Roxbury and then Scary Movie. And then the funny thing is now everyone in Hollywood, I'm being pitched for dramatic shows, and they're like, well, we like Lochlyn, but he's a stand-up comedian, and we don't think he's quite right for this. And I'm like, stand-up comedian? Are you out of your mind? Like, I would suck at stand-up unless someone wrote it. Like, I feel like if someone wrote me a stand-up show, I'd be really good at it, because I know that I can do it. It's just coming up with the jokes is tougher for me. I'm much better when Dave writes stuff for me, and he goes, say this. I go, thanks, Dave. Thanks.
So Dave, you're gonna have to write him some serious stuff then, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Or his stand-up routine, one or the other. Anybody else? Questions? Got about 5 minutes?
What are you all working on currently? What are your current projects?
Well, for me, I just filmed a movie that comes out soon. It's a vampire film that I did with Mina Subari and Stephen Dorff, Tyrese Gibson, called Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. And then I'm starting a movie in Montana this month that we're shooting at the Yellowstone Ranch, which is exciting for me, because I just love that type of stuff that takes place in the 1890s. So that'll be fun. And then, I don't know, I just randomly end up on shows somewhere. So, you know.
My next 2 films out is June 18th. It's called The Keepers of the Five Kingdoms. And it was written by James Hong, he's 95. He's from Big Trouble Little China and Chinatown.
Zach Ward's movie?
Yeah, Zach Ward directed it from Christmas Story. Dante Brasco, Peter Pan, myself, a bunch of people. It's Bei Ling, the guy from Long Duck Dong, actually. 16 Candles, I don't know his name.
Zach's a cool guy.
Huh?
It's just long duck dog.
You know. But it's basically Big Trouble in Little China meets Goonies. It's high school kids unleashing mystic Chinese stuff that's now in our world, and they have to try to get it back in the bottle before the world's taken over. Yeah, so that's a really cool movie. And then in August, there's a film called Stream, and it's made by the Terrifier people, like Damien Leone. Look, it's not a spoiler alert because the trailer's out, and I get killed in it 3 times. I'm the only person you see getting killed in the trailer. But it's 3 times because they're like, we gotta put some kills in, but we don't want to give it all away. So we just kill you 3 times in it because he literally chops my head off pieces. There was a lot of times, and that's like the Devil's Rejects cast of a Terrifier movie because it's myself, Dee Wallace, Danielle Harris, Felissa Rose, Jeffrey Combs, Bill Moseley, a whole bunch of Tony Todd. And who's the guy from Tim Curry? Tim Curry, it's his last movie. Yeah.
A lot of guys from the first time horror film stuff.
Huh?
A lot of rookie horror films.
A lot of rookie horror. I like to make rookie mistakes, but it's all good. All good.
All right, gentlemen, that's about our time this afternoon.
Thanks, everyone. Great to see you all. Thanks for coming out.
I'm gonna go get my underwear to do a doozy photo op with my back, and you're welcome to come.